Welcome, everyone, to your least favorite podcast. My name is Mark, and this is the show where we talk about just the things that are on our minds for the week. I'm here with each of one of my friends,
This is Steven.
Nick.
I'm Jacob.
and we're just going to kind of chat about what happened. So, what's up, guys? How was y'all's week?
My week is always beautiful because I have you guys in my life.
Isn't that just the sweetest thing ever?
That's the opposite of what I was going to say.
Well, except for Ashley. Fuck you. So, there you go.
Thank you.
That's how I feel. Never lie to your friends.
I think I had a pretty interesting conversation this week. Me and my wife were talking about settling on another planet. You know, they had the projects to either settle on Mars or settle on the moon. And I thought, like whenever that happens, they get kids up there, like they're gonna need school teachers. And my wife's a school teacher, so like we should be like easy pickings to like go up there, and I could teach karate up there on the moon. I think that'd be like a really cool thing.
Is there a purpose for karate on the moon, though?
I mean, no, but I'm not the ticket up there. She is. 'Cause she's a teacher. So I just tag along. And then what am I going to do up there? Twiddle my thumbs? No. Physical exercise.
Can we get to the more important part other than teaching kids shit, okay? Karate Kid, but on the moon. New movie, huh?
Love it.
Be the
Thoughts?
next Mr. Miyagi and Jackie Chan.
But you're like an alien.
Can't have that though, because like you can't remake Karate Kid. They tried that once. It didn't work very well.
Hey, Jaden Smith. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I didn't watch that.
I mean, that was probably the best thing he was in. But
Are you saying what is it? After Earth isn't a great movie?
Ooh.
that's the one. Like that was the one. Like they had to get rid of emotions, right? Like that was the whole thing.
Yeah, it was really good until I found out it was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
He's had one good movie.
Yeah, and then he just keeps trying to like redo it over and over and over again.
Oh, it's awful. Terrible director.
Plot twist.
If you don't believe me, look it up.
Like, why would you have a movie with Will Smith not portraying any emotions?
I mean, it was a cool concept, but everything else about it was bad. Like a really cool concept, but the rest was really bad. I mean, it wasn't like really bad, but it wasn't good at all. The aliens can like smell your fear, and so you can't be afraid. But they're pretty scary looking aliens.
No, it was a dumb movie. Karate Kid was his best movie, and it still wasn't great. So I'm not remaking Karate Kid on Mars.
We could call it Moon Invaders.
I mean, like, think about it. Like, whenever they have like an actual colony set up, they would need things, entertainment. They would need, leisure activities.
Listen, I got like tires on lock for the moon, bro. 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, would you do it though? Like, would you actually, like, if this was a real thing, would you go settle on the moon?
I think it'd be intriguing. Like if you could say that like there was going to be a good chance of actually surviving that instead of just dying upon like landing or like not having food or the ability to live there, then sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like the first ones to do it, but like
No. This would have to be like after it's been settled. Like when they need, hey, we need space tires, peoples. Discount tire in space. Who's up? Who's ready to go?
Yeah, I think I would like try and manage it. I would like forefront the program. And I wouldn't want to go do the work on Mars, but like I would like handle the management part of that.
Can I stay on Earth?
I mean, I'm all for getting off the Earth. Oh yeah, see, we're on the other opposite page.
Yeah, I just want to stay on Earth and manage it. How about that?
Nah, get me the hell away from this place.
See, Holly was fully against settling on Mars. I thought it'd be great,
Okay, so there are two big issues. One that they haven't really worked out a great way around is radiation. Anywhere in space isn't shielded because most of these places don't have a thick enough atmosphere.
Don't worry, I got radiation on log. You just wear a hazmat suit like in the games and you're good. Pretty sure that's how it works.
Gambled.
The other thing is it takes like 4 to 6 months to fly from Earth to Mars. So You wouldn't be making that trip pretty regularly.
That's what I mean. Like once that is figured out, like, hey, we can get there really fast. Or like, yeah, you have one trip to Mars and you're good, but it's like a luxury spaceship, or not even luxury, but like a spaceship that you could live on for 4 months without it being terrible.
I mean, I love spaceships.
4 months actually wouldn't be that bad. Like, because
On like
Well,
current
you-
spaceships, though, that would be pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, fair, but I'm thinking about like just travel time in general. Like, whenever I was not living near my family, I'd see them once a year, maybe once every year and a half, right? And if you took a 4 month trip back to Earth, visit your family for a month or two, then 4 month trip back to Mars. All right, see you in another 2-3 years. How much different would that be than kind of how
I
life
mean,
is now?
as far as being away from people, not much different, but the like travel aspect when you can't go outside or you can't do anything except sit in this metal tube for 4 months at a time. That'd probably get kind of old.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have like a 14-hour flight internationally or something. That sucks bad enough. Imagine doing that for 4 to 6 months.
And there's probably going to be a baby crying.
On a first class ticket, though, 13-hour trip is actually really nice.
You just have to be rich either way. So
I am all for launching rich people into space. Maybe not in any particular direction, just into space.
Put them in the Teslas.
Yeah, just run in there and fire them off.
Every time someone buys a Tesla, they get launched into space.
That'd be fine. That thing's still up there somewhere.
Well, Tesla's made all their cars like really cheap. That's why everybody's buying them.
2 birds with 1 stone.
I have found that there's an increase of Teslas around here.
Yeah, they made them like Elon like dropped the price and fuck for people.
They put a Tesla charging station at the Winn-Dixie next to my house.
Mm.
I thought about buying an electric car, but it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of goes against what I would use a car for, besides day-to-day driving. I was even looking at those hybrid Jeeps, which is probably the closest I could get, because at least I still have options if something's wrong with the battery or can't charge it.
About getting an electric car. I mean, day-to-day driving would be really the big thing. Like if we had one car that was easy just to get around town, and then like one car if we did want to go on a road trip.
But there's actually quite a bit. Like Tesla's got a pretty good programming for that, where it'll like show you where to stop to get charging, and it like doesn't charge the car all the way back to full, but it like charges it enough to get to the next charging station essentially. So like you can just map your route with those.
Happens whenever there's like there's a wreck. Now you're stalled.
I think it equates for like a little extra in between.
I mean, I guess it's the same argument you could put with gas, though.
Yeah, but I could just crawl up to the guy in front of me and siphon out of his gas tank if I run out of gas.
I mean, you could just run up to the Duracell battery bunny and take his shit, you know. So
Take his drum too while you're at it.
yeah, speed off, you know.
I mean, there ain't no charging those batteries without the proper equipment. You ever seen when they crack those things open, especially like lithium like cells, and it's just like a bunch of like 9 volts? And I think the big cells are basically like whole rows of the 18650 batteries, and it's crazy. It's just a bunch of tiny batteries stuck into a block.
I'm gonna confidently say no. I've never seen it when they've done that. Sorry.
Yeah, just go up to a Tesla and just like get a knife and slice that battery open and take a look at what's in there.
Perfect.
Telling me that I could go to Publix, buy all the AAA batteries, and then build my own Tesla.
I
In
don't see why
theory,
not. It's just a battery.
You know, there's like videos on YouTube on how to build Teslas.
I mean, the Tesla itself is pretty straightforward.
Build one without a video.
All right, I'll go out there and get some 2x4s, get some zip ties.
I don't
next
think you're
next
making it.
episode is a live stream. Next episode's a live stream.
This is my approximation of a Tesla.
No, I want it to be a Tesla. It's not that hard. Okay.
Well, he can't You can't do that. It'd be copyrighted at that point.
Okay, we'll call
I
it.
don't think they're going to be that sad about it if he builds it out of 2x4.
We'll call it a Tesla.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be the knockoff brand.
It's the Dollar General brand of Tesla.
Yeah, that could work.
When's the Cybertruck coming out? That's the real question.
I've got a friend who pre-ordered one of those.
He's never gonna get it.
He's never gonna get it.
Yeah, I thought based on that little press release they did that was coming imminently, but it just kind of disappeared into the nothing.
They're saying that it should be out late 2023, 2024.
I mean, there's nothing like inherently difficult about it other than it's a weird shape. It's just a Tesla with a truck body, so either they have production ready to make them or not. I was kind of excited to see they're bringing back the DeLorean. You see that? The DeLorean Alpha 1, which is
mean,
also electric.
Bringing back's a strong word. You have to be like super loaded to get one of them.
Oh yeah, so the first initial run was there's only 88 of them being produced. You have to be a part of their like fan club website in order to get put in the running to even get a chance to buy one. And then if there's only 88 of them, God knows how much they cost. And it ain't the old stainless steel DeLorean. It's the only thing about it that looks like a DeLorean is the gold wing doors.
So why are they calling it a DeLorean?
Because someone bought the brand.
I'd say money.
Personally, I'd have made him look like the one from Back to the Future and just sold him just like that.
Oh, is that not what's happening? Is that not the reason?
Oh no, it's this curvy kind of hyper sports car looking thing. Kind of looks. I don't know. I'm not good on those fancy cars, but it's very round bodied and 4 doors.
It's the same thing with the Mustang, though. With the new SUV Mustang.
Yeah, the Mach-E is a disgrace to the Mustang. They should have just called it the Mach-E.
It's an interesting concept. I think that whoever, well, I guess it would have been several people in the process should have probably lost their jobs, but the fact that it made it all the way through production and people are actually driving them around and it's still called a Mustang is a little bit ridiculous.
Like, does it have any like actual resemblance or anything to do with the Mustang?
Like the front end kind of looks like a Mustang, and then it has like Mustang logos and the taillights of a Mustang. But other than that, no.
It's like when I make a pickup truck, right? But I call it a Maserati. You're probably gonna pay a little more attention to it just for the fact that it's called. You're like maybe it's something, but no, really, it's just something else with the wrong logo on it.
I like it. I love it. It's like one of my favorite cars now, to be honest.
The Mach-E,
Yeah, the Mach-E, the Mustang.
buy one.
Oh no, I don't actually want to drive one. I just love that.
No, you just said it was your
It
favorite
ups-
car, so you need to get
It's my
one.
favorite because it upsets so many people. It upsets so many people. I just think it's funny.
It's just one of those things that you don't really understand why it came to be or how it ever got that far in the process, but here it is.
And all of its wonder.
I mean, it's a very underwhelming car. It just looks like another hatchback electric car.
Is it electric?
Yes,
Yeah.
Huh.
that's what the E stands for in Mach-E.
I did like, however, Ford's truck, the Lightning, because it looks like an F-150, but it's electric, and you could power your house on it.
And then not have a car to drive on once your truck. runs
Well,
out
that
of
was for
power.
like an emergency situation, and it has a frunk.
I don't know how I feel about that. About frunk.
You're not a frunk fan?
I'm not a frunk fan.
I mean,
feel like I would need to-
would you rather them just have it be nothing? Like I don't. What
You
else
could put
would
a
you rather
fake
it be?
engine in there.
I mean, I don't. I would like. I just think about going to the grocery store. I have to back up into my parking spots.
I mean, you could still use the bed.
It still has the truck bed. It just has no engine.
Well, what if I can't put something in the bed? What if it's like?
Do you
Wouldn't-
normally worry about putting stuff under your hood?
Yeah,
No,
I'm a
it's
little
cool.
lost at how the frunk is a problem.
It's just
Because,
free
like,
extra storage space.
yeah, and if I'm gonna go put my groceries in there, then I gotta pull back into my parking spot so it's on the outside.
Well, now you're giving me too many options on where to put a dead body. Okay, I just need one good option.
That thing could load up on some bodies.
Yeah, but what happened to the good old I kill him and then just put him in the back? Now I gotta be like put him in the frunk. It just doesn't sound as good.
I bet like one time you could get away with getting caught by the cops with a corpse in the trunk or in the frunk
In the frunk.
because they just think it's a normal F-150. So who's gonna pop the hood to look for anything?
Exactly, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck's that smell?" I don't know. No idea.
There's nothing in the
sir.
back, nothing in the cab. Guess
It's
they're
just
good.
an engine in the front. Have a good day, officer.
Yeah, at least once you could get away with it with that. These newfangled cars.
When does that become standard?
When cars stop needing engines.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think they're already pushing pretty hard to not allow gasoline manufacturing on cars anymore. Like, I know there was a bunch of people who are mad because I think the Charger and the Challenger aren't being made in gas versions anymore.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Having an electric sports car is probably really fun. I would never do it because I'd probably get pulled over all the time. The fact that they accelerate the way they do means I'd probably just end up in more trouble than it's worth.
You know what actually is kind of a interesting thing to me is the age of cars. Because whenever what was it? It was 2008 or so. I turned 16, and we're looking at cars, and a car in like a 90 something whatever. It was like, man, that's an old car. I don't want that old of a car, right? But like I'm driving a 2006 right now, and I don't see it necessarily as an old car, but it's almost 20 years old.
You get the collector's plates on it.
My collector Toyota Avalon.
I mean, isn't it after 20 years they qualify for?
25, but it's probably different in certain states.
They're like, no, nobody's ever gonna want to collect this car. Sorry. I mean, I got this old Jeep, and it's 85. It's 5 years older than I am, but it doesn't seem like an old car.
No, it seems like an old car.
I mean, that one's a little different because it's like stripped out for rock crawling. It doesn't have the interior to really gauge how old it is.
So it looks like an old car.
I love old cars, by the way. Way better than new cars. Don't even at me.
You're 100% right.
There's something to be said for not having all the new computers that are in there. If something breaks, probably 9 times out of 10 now, it's some software or some sensor or something's just gone bad.
Bro, in my wife's new car, if you get too close and don't slow down fast enough, it just slams on the brakes for you.
That shit is the worst.
It is awful. It's fucking awful.
I watched a video of messing with that, and they tried to do it, and the car just plowed right through the guy.
No, and like if you don't have your seatbelt on, it will just like kill the engine to like 10 miles an hour until you put it on.
I
You and the
mean,
passenger.
probably put your seatbelt on then.
I mean, if you're a communist, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of seatbelts. Don't like.
Now, I kind of would have agreed with you guys, but like honestly, I love all the bells and whistles. Like my wife's new car, I love the cruise control, the auto adjust cruise control. That thing is the best.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the stuff is cool. It's just that it exponentially increases the amount of stuff that could go wrong in the car now.
I want to drive my own car. I don't want my car to drive for me. Okay.
I would love my car to drive me around. It'd be great.
I mean, dude, just take the damn bus then, you piece of shit.
That's different. That's
No,
way
just take the
different.
bus, and then you don't have to drive yourself. How about that?
It's not even close to the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. You
He's
were a
got a
damn
point.
school bus kid, weren't you?
I did ride the school bus.
Damn
Yes.
right. Yeah. The short bus.
No, that was specifically reserved for Mark and Nick. It's the short bus.
Whoa!
Wow. Okay.
Wow!
Yeah.
Attacked me there.
Shots fired at Mark. I agree. I was on the short bus. Shots at Mark is not necessary, sir.
Collateral damage.
Yeah. Guilt by association, I guess.
all's fair in love and war, man.
I hated riding the bus. I didn't want to sit next to anybody. That was like the worst part about riding the bus is having to sit next to people. I didn't know.
That's where you had life experiences. Okay.
I think
Fair
for
enough.
all of the times I went to school, I either walked or eventually got a car.
Oh, here we go with the granddad. I walked 20 miles uphill both ways in the snow.
Sure did.
No one cares, okay?
This is actually more like, what is that, like 6 blocks was probably the long. No, it was further than that. in
No,
Brighton.
it was about 6 blocks.
I was thinking of both, but I guess the Brighton one would have been further.
And really, I don't think you had to walk for very long. I'm pretty sure you had a car pretty quickly.
Well, I meant when we first moved up there, I was walking all the way down. That was a long walk, and then we moved closer, and it wasn't as bad.
Here we go, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our first topic, our favorite subject. This is why you're wrong. So today we're talking about one of my favorite things, which is road trips. I love taking road trips. I love driving. It's super relaxing to me to just get in the car and go. And honestly, like if the trip isn't at least like maybe 5-6 hours, then I don't even really call it a road trip. That's just going somewhere. I like the 12-hour long, maybe more. Hit the road, drive across country, and yeah, my friends are going to tell me why I'm wrong.
Everything you just said is terrible.
Well, first off, friends is a strong association here. So after that statement you just made, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. So
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Road trips are absolutely disgusting. I don't know why you would want to sit in one spot for anything longer than like 30 minutes, but
I mean, my issue with a road trip is usually that most of the other people are going to be on their phones or asleep or not paying attention. If you get people that are actively engaged, it's not as bad. But if they're not, I'd rather just take a nap. And that even applies if I'm driving.
You know, I've taken a long road trip with everyone here except for Nick.
okay. You want to know why?
Why? Why Nick?
Fuck road trips. That's why. So, you know the best part about a road trip?
What's that?
Getting to where you're going, so you can start your actual vacation or adventure, not the actual road trip. No one likes it. You're just wrong.
The actual road trip is honestly so much fun, especially like Steven was saying. If you have somebody to go with you, you've got somebody to talk to and interact with the whole time. There's so much you can do and so much you can see. You know, you got car games. Car games are fun.
Name two. Go.
License plate game. I Spy. There's two.
Okay, both.
What
Not-
about the one when you see a Volkswagen and you punch them in the face? Anybody play that one?
Slug Bug, dude?
That's the one.
My sister and I weren't allowed to play that game because I never won. She always saw it first and then would hit me and I'd get mad.
So get
and
good.
you gotta be quicker than that. I don't know what to tell you.
I wouldn't necessarily have stopped y'all from playing that. It's a good life lesson. You got to get better at it.
I mean, yeah, just don't be a loser.
Seems like an easy fix.
Well, good thing y'all weren't my parents. 'Cause,
Good thing I'm not a parent, let's be honest.
Yeah, well, maybe you should punch him harder until then he'll learn that he needs to try harder to find them. You better be looking out that window like your life depends on it.
He's gonna try real hard to not get hit.
one of my favorite parts about road trips, this is a kind of a game. It's more of an inside joke. My wife and I, as we drive, we talk about the names of creeks. So, and how they got their name. They're always like very generic. It's like Big Creek, Little Creek, Small Creek, Round Creek. And it's just like, wait, how do they get their names? right? Like, hey, where's Johnny at? Oh, he's down by the creek. Which one? Oh, Round Creek. Oh yeah, the round one.
It might just be because it's way drier where we're at, but there's not as many creeks. They're usually just dried up dirt beds.
Yeah, they throw dry into the name of the creeks around here. There's Big Dry Creek.
Hey, where'd John go? Oh, he's down by that big area that used to be a creek that dried up. Oh yeah, the Big Dry Creek. Oh yeah, that's him.
I mean, Big Dry Creek out on the prairie just kind of looks like the prairie. So the fact that they bother to name them anyways is kind of weird. It's like some of these towns that we come across out there. They like, who named this stuff? Why bother? Old dead creeks and old dead towns. Just leave them be.
That's fun. Like that's like a cool part of road trips is finding these dead towns with weird names, and then you talk about how they got their weird names.
They're dead for a reason.
No,
Just let
it's
'em be
like
dead.
it's a whole cool part of road trips.
I mean, it was always like extremely unpleasant driving from anywhere on the east side of here, like going to Nebraska and any of the Iowa. All that stuff's just flat nothingness. It's not as interesting to look at. When there's stuff to see, then it's not too bad. I would always rather go into the mountains. It would be a longer drive, but it didn't seem to take as long.
Agree there that a road trip does need good scenery. The drive from Omaha to Denver was pretty rough at points. The drive from Kansas City to Omaha was also pretty rough. But for the majority of the road trip, that's only like a 2 to 6 hour stint. Whereas like whenever it was 17 hours from Dothan, Alabama up to Omaha, Nebraska, the majority of that's, you're going through forests, you're going through mountains, you're going through bigger cities, and you could actually find some really cool stuff. Especially if you're not on a time crunch. If you're not on a time crunch, you can stop, find some local places to eat, do some sightseeing on the way. I used to stop in St. Louis, and I got to do a lot of cool things around St. Louis just because I was a halfway point between Alabama and Nebraska. Another cool part about road trips.
Hey, all I know is eating on a road trip is a dangerous game.
Some of them places sketch me out there. Like if I'm putting more faith into the truck stop because I know it's reliable at least, I need to see a name brand.
Not even that. You just get in the middle of nowhere and you gotta take a shit, dude. That's the worst feeling.
You just head down some dark road.
Just a dangerous game.
I read on Reddit once. There's I forgot what the actual topic was. But it was like truckers giving advice, and they said if you have to use a restroom while on the road, or if you have to pee while on the road, just give yourself a boner, and that'll go away.
Why?
Have you tried it?
Yes. I stay hard on the road. Sometimes I still gotta take a shit, dog. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I feel like if you stay hard while driving, then you shouldn't be arguing against driving.
I drive for a living, so I hate road trips because I'm always in a car Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I think coming from somebody who, like Nick, same feeling. Like driving around all day long definitely makes driving on a road trip not sound great at all.
Yeah.
I used to do that for a living. It gets old
real quick.
I used to have this routine because I'd be rolling out early in the morning, like on a bad day, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and come about Fort Morgan, just about an hour. I'd have to have windows down, be slapping my face, doing things that you just wouldn't think about doing just to try and stay awake. And now that's when you drive off the road, but I used to just stop around there and take a nap.
Well, no, you just gotta stay hard.
Oh, that solves that problem too.
That solves that problem right now.
Just keep the blood flow going,
Mark, have you ever driven for a job? Have you ever driven every day for a job?
Well, I mean,
I'm talking hundreds of miles every day.
Like I've driven to my job.
No.
every
I mean,
day.
like that your
So
job
that's-
is driving somewhere.
No, I've never had a job driving.
That's why you like road trips.
That's why I liked
Ah,
it all
I don't
comes
know, I don't
in
think
full
so.
circle.
Yes, because
I
every
have
single one of the
driven-
people in here, other than you, have driven as their jobs. Like have had to drive as their jobs, and none of us like road trips.
But I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean,
I think
experienced every part of it. Like the long. I mean, usually it's alone, but you driving. You get your sunflower seeds. You listen to music, and after a while, there's only so much you can do. I got to the point where I was pretty good about just putting my phone up and watching a show or something. But you can get away with that in like places where it's long straightaways, like out on the plains. There's nobody for miles, and you're just going straight for the next 100 miles. But yeah, I mean, it gets kind of old after a while.
road trips though, that's a completely different thing.
I mean, it's a road trip without people like traveling with you. So
I don't think so.
I mean, my current job, I have somebody with me all the time, and it doesn't make it any better.
It's still not road trips though. It's completely different. It's like a completely different.
It's different, but you're driving every day, right? So on the weekend, the last thing you want to do is drive some more.
I mean, I still disagree with that a little bit. I feel like I'd still like to.
see,
wouldn't
the
mind
issue here then is that 3 people saying that they've done it for work and it comes across as very work-esque versus the one person who hasn't done it for work that says it's enjoyable. I mean, that could be skewing the opinion here.
I don't think so. My point is like if it's something you like to do, then you like to do like my current job teaching karate. I'd do that every single day of the week. There's not a single day that I wouldn't want to do that, right? And I love driving. Driving's fun. I would love a job driving around. Like, that'd be awesome. Put my book on tape. Put my music on. I'll drive around town. I don't care. That sounds fun to me. Like that sounds like a good time. Even doing it every day.
Did you just say you teach karate?
Is that the point you're going to bring up?
It did catch. It caught. Yeah, that's the one I kind of focused in on.
You want me to be more technically correct?
I just thought you don't call it karate.
I mean, it's shorthand.
Oh, okay. If that's acceptable, then who am I? But I thought that was like a faux pas.
Okay, let me go on a little tangent here. Ask you guys a question, okay? You know what the people say? If you do what you love, you're not going to work a day in your life, right?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks that's bullshit?
I think it depends on what you're doing. Like there's not very many things that I love that I could do as a job, I guess would be the thing of that.
I feel like if you do what you love enough, you're going to end up not loving it eventually.
No. As someone whose job is their dream job and I get to do what I love every single day, that part of my job is never like I love it every single time.
For right now, right? You don't know how you're going to feel like 40 years down the road, though.
But I've been teaching since I was 15.
So if you
coming
do
up
another
on
15,
15 years.
okay, well,
The
just have to check
teaching
back.
part.
And knowing people in the industry who've been doing it for 30 to 40 years and all say the same thing.
You could say it, but do they mean it? You know?
Yeah, they do. They sure do mean it.
I don't know, man.
I think it does just depend a little bit on like what you're doing and what you love. Like I think in Mark's situation it works out good because he does in fact love that. But there's again not a lot of things that like Nick, you love gaming, but like none of us are really good enough to actually do that professionally. So you can't really do it every day.
I mean, speak for yourself, but I would probably get annoyed with gaming, yeah. And I would probably not like it as much if I did it every day. See? So, I mean, I already get annoyed with it because there's just not enough games, right? Like, good ones out there.
Take some of these professional players, like whenever they do interviews for esports and stuff, most of the time, a lot of them just truly love the game. And even after they've separated from like a professional scene, they still play it and they still do it just because they love the game.
It would have to depend on what exactly it was. It'd have to be a case by case basis.
I'm saying, I think you guys, like, I love driving. I'm not going to say that I would love it every single day, but I think I wouldn't get tired of it. I think I'd still be able to do it if I drove around every day for hundreds of miles a day, whatever. Get in the car and go. And then whenever me and the wife want to take a little road trip to go visit her friends or her family or my family or something, I'd still like to do that because I just enjoy driving. It relaxes me.
I think you missed your calling as a truck driver.
I mean, I gotta, I can hook you up if that's what you want to.
You can sleep in the car.
And it's not a car. You're driving in something you really don't want to be driving in most of the time.
Yeah, see, in a road trip, you're driving in your comfortable vehicle of choice.
See, that bugs me too. I don't like putting unnecessary wear and tear on my car. So a few.
Would it be unnecessary though?
In most cases, yeah. There was no point in time where it was cheaper for me to drive to Omaha than it was to fly.
Well, that's because you drive what you drive.
Any car. There's like maybe 2 cars, and none of them are the ones that I would want to drive.
Have you thought about a Tesla?
I wouldn't want to drive it on a road trip.
Well, actually, I mean, it drives itself, right? Don't those things do that?
For an extra $15,000, yeah.
All right, and that'll just pay for itself in 6 road trips, give or take. Well, I guess that's not really anything that ever pays for itself. Do you just have to get towed if that thing dies out in the middle of nowhere?
I mean, I think it'd be the same as running out of gas.
No, because they can bring you gas.
Oh, true. Bring a little electric generator.
Yeah, they're just going to sit on the side of the road with you with a gas generator.
Should be fine.
I mean, it's just a bunch of AAA batteries, right?
Yeah, you just like I said, crack that thing open, start swapping them out.
Well, everyone, I think we beat road trips down to the ground. Thank y'all for everyone for joining us this week on This Is Your Least Favorite Podcast. Let us know if you think we're wrong, you think I'm wrong in loving road trips as much, or if you think the guys here are right. Till next week, we'll catch y'all later.